Welcome back to Blind Item Breakdown. Our first blind item is messy. It involves Kim Kardashian, Jessica Simpson, and Nick Lachey. This former boy bander, Nick Lachey, has made a nice career for himself. You would think with his boy bander stardom thing there would be a lot of one-night stands and hookups. There have been, but our former boy bander is extremely boring in bed. Sounds like Nick Lachey isn't, Lachey. It's why the reality star Kim Kardashian dumped him and why his longtime significant other, Jessica Simpson, cheated on him. His current significant other, Vanessa Lachey, just deals with it and watches adult entertainment to get her excited. Ew. I'm not shaming her, but you gotta do what you gotta do, girl. I just don't want to hear about it. Our former boy bander is strictly lights off and missionary. There's nothing else going on. According to his ex, 10 minutes would probably have been a world record for him too. Now, I'm not gonna sit over here and determine Nick Lachey's manhood, but I do know what's very important to Kim Kardashian, so the breakup makes sense. One comment reads that Nick is vanilla, baby. This person asks, they can't teach him other things? If he isn't bragging about being the world's best lover or abusing anyone, then let him be. He isn't hurting anyone. So I get it. I mean, maybe he's bad in bed, but he's not the worst man out there. So do we give him a pass? I didn't realize that Kim Kardashian and Nick Lachey actually had a thing. Like, damn, she really has been around the whole block. Now, Nick claims that Kim Kardashian isn't his ex-girlfriend. He says that's a liberal use of the term. He does admit that the two went on a date together to see Ron Howard's The Da Vinci Code in 2006. 2006 was a great year for Nick Lachey. He was going on dates with Kim Kardashian. He released his hit solo, What's Left of Me. But it doesn't sound like Kim liked The Da Vinci Code because she left about halfway through, he said, and went to the restroom, and then shockingly, there were 25 paparazzi when we left the theater. I think there were other things in play in our little adventure. So actually, it looks like Kim Kardashian was maybe using Nick Lachey's fame at this time, going to the bathroom during the movies to go and call the paparazzi, so they were all there ready for both of them when they left their date. Which I think in hindsight, because we've seen Kim's success, we're like, oh, that seems so smart. But like, when you're a normal person living in LA with all these clout chasers and nasty people out here, it's like, damn, Kimberly, you were one of the worst ones out here. Literally dating and setting up like paparazzi shoots and exploiting people to try to gain off of their names.
Kim K gets her very first appearance in the tabloids. She was out on a movie date with Nick Lachey while his divorce from Jessica Simpson was still going through. Had like a little short dating moment with Kim, and word on the street is that they went to see the Da Vinci Code one afternoon, and upon walking out of the theater were bombarded with paparazzi. Nick later implied that it was Kim who tipped them off and that these photos sparked her rise to fame.
There was a cringe moment when Nick Lachey and Kelly Ripa dressed up as Kim Kardashian and her then husband, Kris Humphries, for Halloween. That was actually the same day that she announced her divorce from Kris Humphries, so kind of awkward, and of course Nick Lachey did not hear from Kimberly. Now, I do want to unpack that second part of the blind item, Jessica Simpson cheating. Now, there are reports that she had an emotional affair with Johnny Knoxville while married to Nick Lachey. How do you guys feel about emotional affairs in the comments below? Like, I feel like unless someone's long distance emotionally affairing, I don't quite understand like how it could be emotional for so long. What I'm trying to say is that I don't give emotional affair a pass. I'm just kind of like, I don't fully believe it's just emotional. But Jessica claims that Johnny was different. I could share my deepest authentic thoughts with him, she wrote, and he didn't roll his eyes at me. And you guys may remember Nick Lachey pretty much taunted Jessica throughout their entire relationship, especially on their reality TV show.
Brat.
I'm not a brat.
You're a spoiled brat.
So what if I'm spoiled?
You're a spoiled brat.
But I'm not a brat. I am not. I'm a nice girl.
You're a bratty girl.
I treat you very nice. I hate you right now.
Good, go away, leave me alone.
This report says the last time that Jessica Simpson felt such a strong emotional connection with someone was her father, adding, certainly not my husband, Nick Lachey. She ensured that things did not get physical between them. She said, first off, we were both married, so that wasn't going to happen, but for me, it was an emotional affair, and that's worse than a physical one.
While Jessica Simpson was still married to Nick Lachey, she started filming The Dukes of Hazzard. So at the time, Jessica was writing her father some letters while she was filming The Dukes of Hazzard, and this is what she wrote to him. So she wrote to her father and said, Johnny Knoxville is the only person in her life at that point who made her feel that way. And then she wrote, certainly not my husband. I feel like at this point, Jessica and Nick Lachey were basically kind of living separate lives. She was off filming Dukes of Hazzard. He was probably, I think, in LA at the time.
Now, this next blind item had me really concerned, and I don't know if I'm going to believe this one or not. It's about Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. It reads, "It looks like the singer, actress, producer, and the music guy are finished." Now, remember a couple months ago, we talked about this possible cheating scandal involving Selena Gomez, Benny Blanco, and Teresa Marie, one of Selena Gomez's longtime friends that Benny Blanco was seen in public with. Around that same time, Selena unfollowed her friend. Now, really, that's been the only sign of trouble in paradise that I have seen, which is why I'm not fully buying this blind item. I mean, last I thought she just had her birthday. She was so happy. They're planning their wedding in September. This comment reads, "Girl's got zero instincts, probably because she's never had to figure things out for herself growing up. Always famous and protected." Another person writes, "About time," which, what's wrong with you guys? Do we not love love? Like, last I checked, Selena Gomez not only had her 33rd birthday, but she looked really good doing it too. It looks like her birthday wish was involving her charitable work in mental health, which, you know, we love that because we like mental health awareness. But I wonder if like Selena Gomez set up her birthday wish to be a donation to this charity, because remember her mom had to go and take out a loan on her own home because this charity mental health business that Selena Gomez is involved in was falling in. The company's name is Wondermind, and it's supposed to be a resource for people to go to and read articles and tips and things like this. But her mother, Mandy, has like become the sole owner of this, and essentially employees weren't getting paid, so they had to go and take out loans to go and pay these employees. And Selena Gomez, who has a lot of money, her own mother, who's pretty much built her career for her or with her in the beginning, had to go and almost lose her home to go and make sure these Wondermind employees are paid. So honestly, it's a smart business strategy if she went and asked her fans to go and donate for her birthday. Selena Gomez told people exclusively in a statement that she's looking forward to what's next with the Rare Impact Fund, which I'm sure you are, girl. I'm sure you are. That's a nice tax write-off too, especially for a billionaire.
We're the furthest thing from perfect in the world. She gets spicy sometimes. If I see her getting to a place where I'm like, man, in 5 minutes from now, this room could explode. Let's not let it get there. Let's just talk about this. Let them talk it out first. Sometimes it's not about fixing it right there, especially for women who are strong. They have the world on their back. There's so many people that rely on her. They don't have a lot of time to be vulnerable. So sometimes they just want to complain about something, and that's okay. And then after they talk it out, be like, okay, well, here's what I think. And you can work through these things together. There's such an easy way.
JOJO Siwa is giving me pervy energy, and I do not like it. This blind item reads, "The bad version of the name should really be careful and stop loaning her significant other so much money. She won't get it back." Oh, you're saying 32-year-old Chris Hughes is asking JOJO Siwa, 22-year-old, 21-year-old JOJO Siwa, for some cash? Well, I believe it. I could totally see JOJO offering Chris half of her Big Brother reward money, the money she won on that show, saying, you know, maybe we could split it because we both kind of won it together. She just seems like that type of person. This comment reads that Chris Hughes has been a dick to every girlfriend. A few of his exes complained about his behavior towards him and claimed that it was because he was possessed by a demon who attached to him when he did a reality show in a haunted place. He tried it on with someone else first in the Big Brother house, but when it became clear that she wasn't interested, he turned his attention to JoJo and she fell for it. Now, I don't know much about this story involving a haunted house and a reality show and some demon attaching to him, but if you want a deep dive on him and what his exes have said about him and that story, let me know in the comments below. Now, this is why I called JOJO Siwa a pervert. Because she nicknamed her boyfriend's balls. I guess it's her first time playing with a set of balls, so she's having fun with it. Chris explained in an interview, weirdo Chris said that she calls his balls Jimmy and Timmy, which kind of reminds me of how she wanted to name her future kids Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy. So I guess Jimmy and Timmy are going to make Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy. Why am I so grossed out by this? Chris said that she must love the rhyming lingo within her life. I don't know about those names. I have names that I like. I still kind of am undecided on them. I don't know if he's talking about his balls or his future kids. But Chris says that they'll figure it out for sure. It might end up being something we have to pick names out of a hat for. JoJo said last month that she's now leaning towards a name Silver Siwa for a baby name, preferring that over the bad rhyming trio, which also, I don't know what the situation would be, but would Chris Hughes take Siwa's, like JoJo Siwa's last name? Because why would their daughter's name be Silver Siwa?
Has JoJo ever gone back to watch, your season of Love Island? Have you ever gone back to watch Dance Moms?
Yeah. I've watched a lot of Dance Moms in the last 4 days. No, I've watched loads of Dance Moms while I've been here, but also at our house before we came over. And it's fun seeing JoJo's mum on the TV, because I know her just from knowing her like this, but I like seeing her from like years ago in the way it's fun. That's good TV. She has seen some of my stuff on Love Island, yes. Yeah.
What was her reaction then?
Well, I kind of said to myself, I don't want to watch that. Like, you don't need to watch that. But I also know there's so much stuff from Love Island which was really fun. And there's like loads of iconic clips from our series. So yeah, I was just like, watch it at your peril. Like, if you want to enjoy it and watch it, then feel free. So it's fun to kind of just go back and just see like the dramatic clips, the funny clips. I think that's a nice way to kind of watch back reality shows.
Let's talk about Sophia Richie. I made a video about her husband possibly cheating on her. Not a lot of you guys attended that video, but this blind item reads, the celebrity Nepo baby made fun of the Coldplay cheating thing, but she knows she's getting cheated on all the time by her husband. You know, I think the Coldplay thing is very funny, how people are making light of it, but also, you know, I'm assuming there's got to be some guilty couples out there participating in this thing, and wait until karma comes and gets you. This comment reads that Sophia Richie is making a fool of herself. Another person writes, not sure what is worse, getting caught in an infidelity or getting caught being at a Coldplay concert. Tiny writes, I would say the concert. I don't know what your guys' For You pages have been like recently, but lately I've been seeing everyone reenact the Coldplay kiss cam.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Uh-oh, what?
If you have not been on the internet, this is all in reference to the scandal involving Andy Byron, the CEO of a company called Astronomer, which, good for the company Astronomer. No one's ever heard of this company until now. And one of his employees, Kristen Cabot, who they are both married, have their own families, and seemingly are having an affair at work. Comment below if you guys ever have had any coworkers who are like sleeping with each other, but have significant others. I know a lot of coworkers just sleep with each other in general. I've worked in a restaurant before. It wasn't me. It was not me, but I'm just telling you. I know that happens, but I'm talking about ones that are cheating. Comment below, because what do you do in that situation? I mean, there was another employee who was with them at this Coldplay concert, and I'm assuming she was fully aware that both of her bosses are married. So is it just an open secret?
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Uh-oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
Now, I have seen some debate online on whether Andy has actually resigned or not. There has been a statement that's been put out, and then the company said that this was false, but there can be no way that this guy is going to be on the board of this company any longer, because you can't go and sleep with your employees, especially an HR department person. That's the person who's supposed to be getting you in trouble for this.
I definitely feel for Andy's wife, Megan, his family, and everyone else who's been hurt in the process. But as I said, there was over 50,000 people, and I'm not the only one that caught it on camera. So if it wasn't me who uploaded it, I'm sure someone else would have.
This is interesting. I mean, I'm a huge Paris Hilton fan. Shout out to Paris Hilton. But this reads, the permanent A-list celebrity reality star continues to cuck her husband on a regular basis. What does cuck mean? Is that a bad word? What does cuck mean? It looks like, you know, like a C-O-C-K. I'm going to need you guys to explain in the comments below. This person writes, he probably enjoys it. Another person said, I thought that their marriage was one of convenience. I don't know why this is the related article, but Paris Hilton parties with Megan Fox's ex, Machine Gun Kelly, after they were romantically linked 6 years ago. Keep in mind that I just saw, like, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox fly off to Costa Rica like yesterday or the day before. So they're on vacation right now. It seems like they are together. I'm not trying to say that Paris and Machine Gun Kelly are together. Also, what's going on with Costa Rica? I saw that one actor from the Bill Cosby show. He passed away from drowning. Then I saw Megan Fox was flying over there. Is Costa Rica like the place everyone's going to right now? Shout out to Costa Rica. I've never been before, but I'm very interested. Maybe not interested in like the swimming aspect. Rest in peace to that man. But you know what? Paris is a working girl, and if she has an ex that may be out and about, she has no shame in seeing them because she's got to do what she's got to do. You know, she's got to stay in the headlines, stay relevant, and she's good at it. But we do have an old clip that we found of Paris Hilton being interviewed when she was supposedly linked to Machine Gun Kelly. Here it is.
There are rumors, clear them up, about Machine Gun Kelly. Friends, maybe a musical collaboration. People say you might be together.
We're friends. I think he's a very cool guy. Just think he has a cool attitude. I like hanging out with him, and we're just friends.
Any chance you guys could collaborate on music?
We'll see.
Talent.
He's very talented.
Now, this blind item is just embarrassing. It's about Sia and Harry Jouy. This blind item reads, the one named female singer got herself a yachter. She thinks it is love, though. Honestly, if anyone's a yacht boy nowadays, it's Harry Jouy. Comment below, who are some yacht boys? We've talked about some of the yacht girls, but I feel like we need a yacht boy video. I was going to do one about Zac Efron. I don't know if I've done it already. Comment below, have I already done that? But if you want that, let me know. This commenter points out that the staged pictures seem kind of obvious. And really, what's going on with you, Sia? I mean, I'm looking at Harry Jouy the same way I always has been, because he needs the clout. But what is Sia doing, hanging out with him, holding his hand? This is definitely to go and promote Harry's show, and I hope that Netflix is paying Sia a pretty penny. She was just romantically linked to another man like a week ago, so I don't think that this is some serious relationship, and I don't think anyone does, but their publicists are going to the media outlets and trying to push that it is to make this a story when it's really not. So, Sia, maybe go jump back onto that chandelier because this is giving desperate.
Paparazzi just spotted Sia and Harry Jouy holding hands, and I have two thoughts. Didn't Netflix announce a reality show about Harry finding love like 2 days ago? Let's Marry Harry, a new reality series from Alex Cooper's Unwell, where Harry Jouy puts his closest confidants in control of his love life, allowing them to decide who stays and who goes from a carefully selected pool of potential matches. So what you're saying is Sia is one of these potential matches. If this was PR for something, it wouldn't be PR for that show. So I'm confused. The only way that this makes sense in my head is, one, if Sia is like releasing new music and this is PR for her, right? And then in terms of Harry, maybe he will be seen with a ton of different, like totally random women in the next couple of days or weeks or whenever, to kind of showcase like how he's not good at finding love by himself, so he needs reality shows to do it for him, even though that hasn't helped yet. Nonetheless, this is the most random pairing ever. My second overall thought about this is, why are they always trying to shove Harry Jouy down our throats? I think it's safe to say that literally nobody wants this. Like, nobody wants to see this.
Jeff Bezos and Sydney Sweeney. In addition to everything the wealthy bookseller is doing for this illiterate actress, she's also going to be a Bond girl. Now, I hope you guys like Sydney Sweeney because she is being stuffed down our throats, and she will be the next few years. This comment reads that Sydney should go and marry Tom Cruise as well. One person asks, I wonder how open the Bezos-Sanchez marriage is, which there have been plenty of reports of them having three-ways and doing different things, so I wouldn't be surprised if Sydney Sweeney and her Sweeneys are on their roster. But wait. The source claims that there's tension after Lauren Sanchez found out about Jeff Bezos and Sydney Sweeney's collab. Remember earlier this summer when Sydney Sweeney arrived to the Bezos wedding and everyone was like, wait, why? Well, it looks like she's being eyed as a top contender to play a Bond girl, but she reportedly got $1 billion backing from Jeff Bezos for her lingerie line. Supposedly, there's now tension between Jeff and Lauren because Lauren's a little bit jealous of Sydney Sweeney getting all this money from her man. An insider claims that Sydney's not that close with Jeff or Lauren, but she got invited to their Venice wedding for a reason. It's all business. There's definitely some tension. Lauren did not realize how involved Jeff was in this. It's kind of awkward. Another source told Page 6 that Sydney Sweeney's not friends with either one of them, but attended the 3-day festivities to pay respect to the boss, just like in the old Hollywood days. Sydney Sweeney does seem like that type of girl who's ready to subscribe to the Hollywood narrative, the hierarchy, the elites, and do anything that she can to get to the top, which is kind of a scary characteristic.
Can't believe no one
everyone's talking about this. Sydney Sweeney might be launching a lingerie line with money from newlyweds Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. So according to reports from Page 6, as well as TMZ, Sydney has quietly been working on a lingerie brand for over a year. Guess who's allegedly funding it? Mr. and Mrs. Amazon over here. The investment is allegedly coming from a firm called Co2. One of their partners is backing Sydney's line. Co2 just got a $1 billion check from Bezos and Michael Dell. And remember when she went to Jeff and Lauren's wedding last month in Venice? Sources say she wasn't just there for the vibe, but paying respect to the boss. Literally days after the wedding, she posted these sultry lingerie and bikini pics. So now people are thinking they might have been teasers. Sydney's already worked with Frankie's Bikinis and Parade in the past. Lingerie feels very on brand for her. If Sydney drops a brand with Bezos funding, are you buying? This could be quite the chaotic and iconic business duo.
Let's talk about Michael Jackson. The estate of this permanent A-lister is being shaken down over many videos, which include a lot of drug use and his own version of freak-offs, which were way worse, in the sense that most of the participants were not willing paid participants. At this point, Michael Jackson needs to just rest in peace or wherever he is, because I don't even want to hear about him doing freak-offs. I mean, it was already hard enough to imagine Diddy. Now imagining Michael Jackson. This comment reads, Michael Jackson is why Paris Jackson, his daughter, unfollowed her brothers and now stands with victims. Well, we do have an interesting article. Paris Jackson questions payouts made by her father, Michael Jackson's estate, and is concerned over premium payouts. It looks like Paris is the beneficiary of her father's estate, and she's concerned that there's some people who are taking way too much money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It looks like she decided to look into the estate paperwork and realized in 2018 the executors of the estate approved $625,000 of payments, and they didn't really explain where this money was even going to go. Quote, even worse, these payments appear, at least in part, to consist of lavish gratuities bestowed upon already well-compensated counsel. It's kind of like that saying that like Michael Jackson was worth more dead than he was alive, because these people know how to mess with his estate and take it for themselves. Even though Paris is trying to call out these payments, the executors claim that they were valid, that they've made the estate more money by exploiting Michael Jackson's names, trying to make holograms of him and things like that, they've actually made a lot, so they're able to take this money. But again, Paris Jackson's taking it to court, as she should.
State executors reject Paris Jackson's lawyers' challenge as misguided. Filed a new supplement defending their decision to pay significant legal fees, including all of that, bonuses to outside attorneys, while accusing Paris Jackson's lawyers of lodging untimely and misguided objections. The executors state that Paris Jackson's objections, submitted more than a year after the original petition, should be overruled outright. The filing contends that no other heirs or the California Attorney General have opposed the payments. So because BG, Prince, Michael have not contested this, and supposedly the California Attorney General, they're claiming that it should be fine because nobody else is complaining. That's literally what they just said. Central to the dispute is the compensation awarded to two law firms. This is what Paris is upset about. The executors argue these firms were pivotal in negotiating the 2018 sale of the estate's minority stake in EMI Music Publishing to Sony for $287.5 million. An asset they say the estate acquired in 2012 for just $47,500. This was not an asset that Michael or the estate owned at the time of Michael's passing, the filing asserts, adding that it was the executors' ingenuity and strategic negotiations that created this value. They maintain that the attorney's expertise in entertainment transactions justified fees beyond hourly rates.
Let's talk about Justin Timberlake, Mr. The World Tour. This is gonna mess up the World Tour. Speaking of boy banders, this one, who is an A-list solo and in a group, told a DJ in a club not to play any of the group songs he's in. The DJ did it anyway, and the singer walked out. Wait, why is Justin Timberlake trying to act so high and mighty like he doesn't want his band's music to play around him? This comment reads, I could see this happening, along with the DJ saying, who the F are you? LOL. Well, Justin was seen raging recently at stage crew in front of fans during a performance. Justin lost his patience with his stage crew and scolded the workers, which we never like to see. You could see him in the clip acting aggressive, using hand gestures. At one point, Justin swiped his hands across his throat and shook his head in disagreement. Take a look at this interaction. One person said that he's raging. Losing it with your support crew is considered highly unprofessional in the world of stage performance. One person said, I don't blame Justin for being a little bit pissed off. He's trying to entertain his fans that paid money to see him. It was great that the fans stepped in to help him. That was brilliant. Of course, Justin's behavior on stage isn't a great look because Mr. Timberlake was arrested for a DUI. There's been rumors of him using cocaine. So I don't know if maybe substance could make him a little bit more irritable, but I would not want to be on Justin Timberlake's bad side. This next blind item is so funny. It's about Billie Eilish. It reads, what is crazy about the decision of this A-list singer is that she is herself not a vegan, at least in private. This comment reads, Billie Eilish? That's really bizarre if it's true. Another person writes, that's insanely obnoxious. One thing about a vegan is that they will let you know that they are a vegan within 30 seconds of meeting them. And I feel like faking veganhood is a really bad thing. Like, the vegans are going to square up on you if you're faking it. But it seems like Billie Eilish is desperate to prove her veganism because she's making veganism a law at her concert. Now, the show is going to be in London, and it turns out that every single item there will be vegan, so no meat is allowed. Now, there will be food there like peri peri halloumi wraps, which I've never heard of, corn naan, chipotle tacos, some pizzas, some pancakes, but just no meat. So go and eat before. But a lot of her fans are actually displeased because while they recognize that she's a vegan and they respect it, they personally are not. They're like, no, thank you. I will take the meat on my burger. Which, shout out to all the vegans out there. I love you. And I think that what you are doing means a lot, especially because I am an animal lover. So shout out to the vegans. But it looks like she's kind of pulling an Ellen DeGeneres because the crew also working on the show only eat plant-based diets as well. So when you're working on tour, you can only eat plant-based around Billie Eilish, which sounds a little bit like dictatorship-ish.
So, absolute vegan queen Billie Eilish invited me to her show. Well, her team did, but same, right? Billie is a devout vegan and a very strong advocate for climate action. And so for her recent gigs at the O2, she turned the whole place plant-based, and I was invited to check it out. They only serve plant-based food, including a peri peri halloumi wrap, a corn tiki naan, chipotle tacos, pizzas, burgers, pancakes, and more. Before the show started, Billie narrated a short film about veganism, the environment, and all the steps they've taken on the tour to do their bit.
It's much easier to eat plant-based when you have choices.
For example, the crew all eat plant-based on tour. Billie created a map of plant-based restaurants in the stadiums. The merch is made using sustainable practices. They've pushed hard to encourage travel by public transport. They've minimized the amount of trucks and buses on tour. There was an eco-village with info about climate awareness. Honestly, they were doing so much. Apart from being an eco-icon, Billie put on such a good show. What a voice, what a queen. Thank you for everything you do for animals, our planet, and fellow humans, Billie.
Even though Billie wants to act like she's a super vegan, she's not 100% because she likes to wear her leather. She likes to eat honey. She likes to ride horses, which I didn't know riding horses was non-vegan. But it doesn't matter what Billie Eilish does, whether she serves them grass on a plate or not, because her fans are dedicated and they will be showing up.
We've been out here for about over a week. There's been times where I've been like, oh, I want to go home. You get past it. We don't think any of us are crazy because we all get it.
I know people that have been camping for about 11 days now.
We're actually having a really nice time.
Originally, this was our tent. We snapped all the poles trying to put it up on accident. Snacks, energy tablets, these things are amazing.
There was like a storm. I mean, I was in the tent at one point and the tent lifted. That's one of the points I was like, I don't think I can do this.
We're kind of all queuing to get front row of Billie Eilish. I did try and look for a hotel, but they were going to be charging about £450 for a night. We can't camp on the O2 property. We've decided to camp here. We get moved later to get our wristbands and get in a proper queue.
We all have this one thing in common, that we love this one person. Honestly, we're all just connected. We've been looking out for each other, making sure everybody has what they need. It's been nice.
Our end goal is just to have like the best time at Billie. I think it's all worth it. And if you're with your best mates and you're having a great time, I think it's fine.
Our next blind item is about Tommy Lee and his mess of a partner, Brittany Ferlin. It reads, this permanent A-list musician is willing to let his wife cheat on him because she also buys his drugs for him. Tommy Lee must be embarrassed because Brittany Ferlin, his wife, was catfished by some guy on Instagram and she was so willing to go and cheat on him. This comment reads, is he pimping out his wife for drugs? Another person commented, just buy your own drugs, loser. Another person writes, can't Tommy do it himself? I thought he was separated and divorced from his last wife. I think he was recently spotted with his ex-wife, Heather Locklear. Now, I don't know about Heather, but at least Brittany Ferlin isn't going anywhere, which is surprising because the musician Ronnie Radke really made Brittany look like a fool and even trolled her, saying that he would never go after her. So she definitely fell for a catfish. It took her a long time to really accept that. Brittany explains herself saying, "I told my husband everything. I've been talking to whoever I thought this was on Snapchat. Says it's him, but it's not. Cool, whatever. Because I'm a good person. I mean, I'm not a good person for talking to someone while I'm married, but I've gone through a lot in my marriage. No excuse. I come clean to my husband." Which, comment below, would you accept this kind of excuse? Like, sorry, I kind of cheated on you. It was kind of cheating, but it was actually catfish, and now I'm just extra stupid. She said, "This is embarrassing for me, embarrassing for my husband. This whole effing thing is embarrassing, and I've been struggling with stuff at home, and I'm in an effing hotel. Just leave us alone, bro. I'm done." I like how she's now done cheating after she was caught talking to a catfish. If it was really Ronnie and he actually wanted her, you bet damn well she would have been with him as soon as possible.
All of this happening, you know, has like weirdly brought us closer together, which is really strange, because I think like these things happening can either make like you get further apart or it can like bring you closer together.
Yeah.
And it's like a weird thing, because I think we kind of like we're finally faced like with the reality of like, oh, what would life really be like without each other, you know? And I think the big thing is like healing. And, you know, I think that, you know, once we've been through this situation similarly before, and, you know, it's hard, and all I can say is that relationships are complicated, and everyone has their and we're not immune to that just because we're in the public eye.
Now, I don't like to get political, but I found this blind item about the Obamas. I never really hear about them anymore, unless Trump is complaining about them. But this blind item reads, the former A-lister and his wife can say whatever they want about the actual divorce, but they haven't lived together in years, so it is a marriage in name only. The more content I make, the more I believe that there are so many convenient marriages where people aren't actually wanting to be together, but it's more of a power move, which I wonder how they bypass that, like in their personal lives. Like, how do they, and have another relationship without getting caught? But I guess, keeping it all private, staying at home, keeping their business to themselves. One person commented, "That's a shame. I thought they were solid." Another person writes, "I don't even think Michelle even likes him." Cheyenne writes, "This was always my take. They'll separate, but save themselves the spectacle of a public divorce. Maybe one day after some couples therapy, they'll patch things up." Well, recently the Obamas have been working hard to dispel any divorce rumors, and I didn't know there was really any trouble in paradise. Shout out to that one rumor that Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama have a fling. I don't know if that's real, but I've heard it so many times. Recently, the couple participated in the Couple Challenge game to showcase their bond and sense of humor, to show everyone that they do know about each other.
This one's for couples, 14 questions. Who apologizes the first after a fight? Who's the funny one? Who's more romantic? Who's more patient? Who's the better cook? Who said "I love you" first? Who takes longer to get ready in the morning? Who's the grumpier one in the morning? Who's more stubborn? Who's the bigger baby when sick? Who's the social butterfly? Who's the messy one? Who works out more? Who requires more attention?
I don't know if you caught that, but they were quick to answer that Michelle Obama was the one who takes longer to get ready and is more stubborn and requires more attention. As she should, Michelle. She's done her big one. The couple shares $2, Malia and Sasha, which I believe Malia actually goes to the same gym that I go to. Actually, I went to the gym right in between the Billie Eilish blind item. Can you guys tell? My hair is kind of sweaty, but I rushed back to make sure I finished this video for you guys. But now I am off to go and film another project that you guys will be learning about very soon. I think within a month. And I've been working on it for a year and 7 months at this point. So I'm really excited about that, but I've got to go. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I want some more video ideas. I feel like lately, the last few videos, people have just not been watching them. I don't know what's happening. Maybe you guys just don't care, and I totally understand if you don't care. I accept it. It's received, but what do you guys want me to talk about? Because I am hungry for more content. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.